about Dallas, make it hurt.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on tonight? I really not gonna be with you guys long. What's going on tonight? I won't be with you guys long. I didn't want to wait until tomorrow morning for the ride. I wanted to get as many people here as I can, knowing that you guys got to go to work. I get it. But I'm here. I hope you guys will share this little tirade, if you want me to say it, on tonight. As the Dallas Cowboys once again, and I hate to say this, but at some point, you have to call it like it is. It is the one and only Stephen A. Smith, who has said for years, what can go wrong will go wrong. And once again, the Cowboys find another way to add to this long chapter of spectacular losses. I told you guys a long time ago that the Cowboys don't do it any other way. They either win spectacularly or they lose spectacularly. It never fails. What I can't believe is to go to the play that I never seen a potential spectacular way to win, and at the same time, in the same play, find a spectacular way to lose. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. You can't. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, forgive me for not looking. I'm gonna speak to everybody real quick because if you're up this late, depending on what part of the country you're in, thanks for hanging. I didn't really have plans on doing this, but I'm here. Um, I'm still in a state of shock, y'all. I really am. I'm in a state of shock because the Cowboys played well. The Cowboys played well tonight. Mike Zimmer coached a great defensive game tonight to hold those guys. I don't even count the last touchdown. The fire was gone when Chase caught that last touchdown. But other than that, he held the team down to at least keep the game close. to where people can, you know, uh, to at least keep the game close. A lot of people thought they were going to score 40 and all that type of stuff. It is, uh, it's hard to imagine all that, y'all. For defense, defense played well. Defense played well tonight. I got to give it to. Um, I got to give it to um, Mike Zimmer and the game plan. When you got an offense like that, you got to, pick your poison of how you're going to play that, Burrow and the receivers. I think he did a pretty decent job at mixing it up. Zimmer, uh, you go on one, if you choose to go one-on-one, which they did a lot. They played a lot of man. You really taking a chance, and that's why Chase had such a huge game tonight because he was on a lot of man defense. They had schemed him against primarily Jordan Lewis, and Jordan couldn't really hold him. He can keep him in front of him, but you know, you just take your chance. T. Higgins and um, Chase are real good. Tight end is good, as we said in the show before. And then Burrow is a elite quarterback, as we all know, as we said. But to hold him down is the way we did. You gave your chance, a team, a chance to win. And we should have. I feel like this game could have easily been won by us tonight. But it's amazing the ways that we find in order for us to struggle and lose. If it's not penalties, it's bad play calling. If it's not bad play calling, it's gut wrenching plays on defense. I ain't never thought that I could see a play like I saw tonight, where it was just they just call it like it is. It was just not smart football. Whoever that guy was, and I'm quite sure his name will be called out tonight, over and over again tomorrow. It just didn't make any sense. The Cowboys made the play that needed to be made. They blocked the punt. Worst case scenario, the ball would have been out inside the 50-yard line with, less minutes to go, not hardly no time. The way Rico was running the ball, that he was going to eat up just a little clock. Probably kick another field goal, ball game, or close to it at least. But it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the way we lost it. It's unbelievable how the way Cincinnati got the ball back, and you knew when they got the ball back, you knew we was in trouble. You knew we were. Because the air had been let out of the building, all that type of stuff. But quick recap of a game, then I'll let you guys go. You know, yeah, the guy from my understanding, as Kermit just said in the chat, was called up from the practice squad, and he blew up the game trying to be a hero. And he'll probably be cut tomorrow. He blowed it. Just totally ridiculous. The way we lost the game. So I'm frustrated. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will officially say, not that we have mathematically eliminated, but you might as well say it now. Welcome to the off season of the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome. We're here now, as far as I'm concerned. We had a chance before yesterday on Sunday. If you saw the playoff picture, the Cowboys was actually finally showed their face in the hunt. They were there. If they would have won tonight, they would have been a 4-way tie. They would still been in the hunt. It is horrible the way that the little small glimmer of playoff chances died tonight, as far as I'm concerned. It died. They already were on life support, but it died tonight for me. Uh, you saw the way Michael Parsons was rushed off the field, looked like he was crying and all that type of stuff. That it's over. Okay, so I got a problem. We end up with the same things. I got really one complaint, and I'll talk about this a little bit later on this week. But Mike McCarthy, man, I don't understand him, man. I just don't. And if you saw if you saw the game tonight, which I'm quite sure most of you did, you saw that Rico in the first half had 12 carries for 60 yards. I mean, that's 6 yards a pop. Rico was cooking tonight. The offensive line was cooking tonight. You could have ran the ball down the throat tonight. I think whatever Rico ended up with, I don't know. I think it was 120 some odd yards. He could have had 160. But Mike McCarthy has this insatiable appetite for wanting to run the football. I mean, pass the football, and I just don't understand it. I really don't. And he treats Cooper Rush like he is Dak Prescott or whatever quarterback you want to throw out. Rico had 18 carries for 131 yards. He should have had at least 20. He should have had at least 25 carries tonight. He should have had at least 25. And if you would have dedicated that instead of trying to make Cooper Rush have a shootout with Joe Burrow, you possibly could have won this game easily, to be honest with you. I don't know why he wanted to go the route of a shootout with Joe. That's a mismatch. Joe Burrow versus Cooper Rush is a mismatch. It's not even close. They didn't run. Cincinnati didn't run the ball maybe about 11, 12 times. That's it. Because they want the ball in Burrow hand. You don't want to do that. Our offense is not good enough to keep up in a shootout with Cincinnati. You got to slow the game down, as we said. You got to run the football, and then you got to hope that your defense makes some plays, which they did. The formula was there. Second half, he came out and figured out, okay, I need to get Rico the ball. I give him the credit, but then just because you have first down and you may lose a yard or it's second 10, don't mean you got to throw the ball the rest of the way. I don't understand, man. I don't, and that very well may get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody, not everybody, but the players are begging for him to coach, but that's play calling. But make no mistake about it. Even with the questionable play calling, the Cowboys should have, in my view, should have won this game tonight. This game was lost on stupidity. Bottom line, this game was lost on pure stupidity, not smart football play. Um, Football IQ, if you want to say that, however way you want to look at it, it was not smart football play. Uh, that's what lost this game tonight. Sure, you can say, well, one play don't win or lose ball games, and I guess to a certain point, whoever may be saying that, you're absolutely correct. But that one play that did not make any sense. It reminded me, for those of us that are old enough to remember, that reminded me so much of the Leon Lett play back in 1993 when the Cowboys blocked the field goal and it was in the snow and For some reason, Leon Lett wanted to go down there, I guess, recover the ball. He slid and kicked the ball. Miami got the ball back, and they beat the Cowboys that day. Just unbelievable way to lose a football game. We saw it here again tonight. We saw it again. We saw it tonight. Um, and what it does now, it opens up some questions to me, because if the Cowboys really have lost or know they can't get in the playoffs, which I doubt, I don't think you're going to be able to get in, even if you run off the rest of the games, which I don't believe they will. I believe that, now your mind should focus on um, getting the best draft pick possible. So, I believe we'll be probably, when it's all said and done, I think we might be right where we are now, somewhere between maybe the 12th probably and the 18th, 12th, and I'm sorry, about the 15th or 16th pick. If it's all said and done, I believe now that we lost this game, I believe that it's time now to put Trey Lance in, since they want to see what they have. If they want to get him some film, he's a free agent anyway, so ain't no such thing as trading him or nothing like that. I think now is the time for that. I think it's now time, and the way it's looking, a lot of bag-up linemen are already playing because of injury. I believe you need to go that route. I don't believe that CeeDee Lamb probably not going to play too much more. They'll say he needs to rest and get his shoulder right. I don't think you'll see DeMarcus Lawrence ever again in a Dallas Cowboy uniform. If he was going to play, I believe the Cowboys would have won. I think there would have been a chance, because their playoff hopes would have still been alive. I believe you would have saw DeMarcus Lawrence, but I don't think you're going to see him now. I believe they'll put him on out. Of course, the bad news is that Overshawn hurt himself. We don't know to what extent yet. No, Jay, I wasn't hoping for a playoff run. I just was not going to go fully into the draft until it was over. All I said was that they were in the hunt, and everybody was coming back towards us, and then the part of the schedule favored us. I knew the Cincinnati game would be tough, but if we had snuck out this win, then you go to Carolina, that could have been a possible 4-game winning streak before we got to see Tampa Bay and Philadelphia and Washington to close out the year. Now, I don't think we were going to run the table anyway, but the games that you probably could win, those were the games I thought we should win. And tonight, I kind of had it up in a toss-up, to be honest with you. I thought the defense would play well. I did. But since they lost the game, of course, then my mind is saying, hey, it's obvious where we're going toward. So to ensure that you get the best, because the offense is looking pretty, better and better every week, to be honest with you. They're looking better and better. Once he finally figured out that you need to get a ball to Rico, this offense changed. And they did. And with Cooper Rush in, it looks pretty good, with Rico, being the main guy. So now that it's over, I believe, and I hope Overshawn, let me say that again, I hope Overshawn, man, I hope he didn't tear his knee up again, because that's going to affect us until, to next year as well. If that's the case, I hope it's just a knee sprain or something, hopefully. I hope it's not. It's obviously he didn't break his leg because he walked off. You can walk off with an ACL. You know, I hope that Overshown didn't tear his leg up again because that would mess us up for next year as well. Uh, and then, for a young player, that would be his um, third, I believe, second or third. It would definitely be, if it is an ACL, definitely be his second. But I'm thinking his third because I thought he had a ACL in Texas when he played in Texas. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong. Um, but I believe that because of his injury, I think you need to shut him down for the rest of the year as well. So, it makes no sense for some of these guys who've been nicked up pretty good. You hate to, when I look at CD, who obviously can play, but when you paying a guy that has a shoulder injury like he has, uh, you know, $35 million man that he is, go on, shut him down. That's the way I look at it. If you're not making the playoffs, you are, whether you like it or not, you're in evaluation mode, and I believe that's where we are now. So we might as well go ahead and get it done. That's the way I look at it. So my focus now for those is, I talk about the game coming up, Carolina game, and all that type of stuff, but I'm not going to be focusing on it really at all, because I believe that week by week, um, I believe week by week, everything's going to change. Al Logan says Diggs is not Diggs no more. I don't know about that, Al. Remember, if you've been following me, and, if you've been watching football, like I know you have, it's just the truth when it comes to guys that are coming off ACL injuries. You really can't judge the player, on his first year coming back. You can't do that because they're not themselves. Everybody has the same story. Everybody says the same thing, that you let them come back for the year, and then the following year, they should be back fully to themselves. And when that happens, and then if Trey is playing, or doesn't look the way he did a couple of years ago, then I can get you on that. But I'm not going to judge Diggs right now. We said that about Michael Gallup when he came back from his knee. Let's just see. We said the same thing about Terrence Steele after his knee surgery. And, they rushed Michael Gallup back for sure. And now Michael Gallup is retired just that quick because he never came back to the way he once was. So if you feel like he's not back, I'm not going to go against you, Al, but I'm going to hold out on the real judgment for Diggs until next year. He would have another whole offseason to fully recuperate on his knee. All the confidence, get it stronger. His confidence will be fully back. I'm quite sure it's there now. But your body can only do so much. And we'll just have to see where he is to me next year. But tonight is all about how we find a way to. I mean, we find ways, man. It's almost like a black cat is in this organization this year. I'm just being honest with you. It's like a black cat has floated around this organization the whole season, and tonight was kind of like the final nail to me, at least. Um, in it, it's just amazing how we lost this game tonight. Spectacular loss. Um, it's just amazing. So pay attention this week, and you'll start getting clues when they start talking about the injury report leading up to the Carolina game. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to get a good feel about the game because I got a feeling people that you think gonna be playing probably won't be playing. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised, man. Even in a limited role, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot more Zeke now. I hate to say that. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Deuce finally play instead of him being in jogging suits. Because the Cowboys, believe me, if they have given up, trust me, they are not about to try to win a whole lot of more games. We still got another 5 weeks left or so. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if starting Sunday in Carolina. I would not be surprised if a lot of people that you thinking gonna play, and it ain't nothing wrong with them. They just gonna say he has a injured hip or knee soreness or it's all for to go down now. So that's why I can't really get excited about it. Um, I just can't, and you can't blame the Cowboys now because now they got to get ready to get the highest pick drafted, and we'll be talking about this for a while. So I got to start bringing some people on that know about the draft and everything. I agree, Al. When you start talking about the foot injury, it's tricky, as I've always said. The foot, man, you can't, even though somebody say you're supposed to be back in week 8, for instance, well, with the foot, you may not come back to week 10, week 12, because the foot, the soreness in it, you just can't predict it. Um, so that's why you haven't seen DeMarcus Lawrence as well. So, hey, it's a shame it had to really end like this. No, I mean it's a lot of stuff that's got to go down. You know, Jerry may have already made up his mind about Mike McCarthy, and I wouldn't be surprised either way. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I think Jerry hears his players. All of them seem to want to bring McCarthy back. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back as the head coach. I wouldn't be surprised. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he is gone. And I saw a comment here from Shane talking about we need to be looking at head coaching candidates now. Well, I've been kind of doing that, but there's a lot of things got to go into play when it comes to that. Um, so, and I'll go into that, for another show. But if you start talking about outside of McCarthy, it's a lot of factors that, at least in my view, that should be talked about for another head coach. And I'll talk about that. Most of you guys have already kind of heard me kind of hint toward that, but I'm not about to do that now because I don't want to be on another hour and 30 minutes. Um, so Cowboys lose a heartbreaker 27-20 in a way that nobody could predict. And I'm quite sure tomorrow morning, Cowboys, especially one Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, will have a field day on the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow morning. They will be the laughing stock of the NFL. Never seen a play where you actually win the play by blocking the punt, and 3 seconds later you lose the play by a dumb decision. It don't happen often, but only the Cowboys. It just when you think you done seen it all, they do this. Uh, it's unbelievable. Uh, no, he shouldn't, Daryl. That see a lot of things that we want to blame McCarthy on, as the head coach, you're gonna fall on the sword, but really, is it really Mike McCarthy? Or does that blunder goes to Coach Bones, who I'm quite sure at some point during this whole season, whether it was training camp or within the first couple of weeks or whatever, I'm quite sure that he said at one particular time, look, if we block a punt and it's on this side of the field, everybody get away, let the ball roll and get out of bounds. I'm quite sure he said that. Kid coaches on the high school level teach that. You see what I'm saying? What made this young man that just got called up off the practice squad, what made him want to pick it up? It is it's unbelievable. Even if he would have caught it, I would have been almost about ready to throw something in my television saying, man, what in the world are you doing? You lucky you caught it, but why are you doing it? So if you want to blame McCarthy for that, you can go ahead and do it. I mean, he the one that's gonna get the blame anyway, but that ain't really on Coach McCarthy. You can't skip over special teams coach. And that's bone. So I'm quite sure that's been taught with him being out the practice squad. Quite, maybe he ain't get, the young man didn't understand. Maybe that's what the issue is. Maybe the young man didn't understand. I'm quite sure if that's the case. But like I said, it's easy to point the finger at the coach when most people around the country are pointing the finger at the head coach anyway. So this just adds to it. It is what it is. But that's the bottom line is it's not a smart football play. And I don't even know the young man's name, so I don't even want to call his name out right now. I'll find all that out. But whatever his name is, it was not a smart football play. And it could be the reason why he's on the practice squad in the first place. Maybe football IQ is not as high. That kind of stuff will get you sent back down to the practice squad quickly, if not cut. So it is what it is, y'all. I just hate going out like that, where you're the laughing stock of the league. We're going to lose. I'd rather get beat by 40 points rather than lose like that. I'm serious. And for those that are going to jump on Michael Parsons, and that's another show, you know, there's a case that is nobody going to be wrong. But, as far as him being a leader, showing leadership, he didn't do good tonight, as most of you saw him walk off the field. But at the same time, I understand his emotions. I do. Sure, he could have responded better. Sure, he could have shook hands with the Bengals players and all that type of stuff. Sure, he could have did that, but man, you don't put your heart into it like they did tonight and have the game in your hands after a block and to lose it like that, you understand the emotions. I'm quite sure he will apologize for that. I'm quite sure he'll talk on his podcast and say he, could do better, but you gotta allow emotions. You gotta understand emotions of this game, and you need to allow him to be human because folks gonna eat it up now. Folks gonna talk real crazy about Michael for walking off the field and all that type of stuff. Especially when you want to find something to talk about. So let him get through this. I understand. Could it have been better what he should have done? When you got every camera in the world on you and all that stuff. Yeah, I get it. It could have been better. Yes, it could have been. But I understand as a guy who played, and most of you played sports, and you know how it is when you lose a game like that. You know what the emotions feel like. I don't even care what sport it is. You know the emotions, and you know when you're emotional, you sometimes do wrong things. You don't think. You just react. So let's allow the man to be human. I'm not gonna kill him for it. It is what it is. All right, man. Look, a lot of y'all gotta go to bed. Time for y'all to go to work. I don't want to be the hold up. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I'm gonna be fair. It's a little over 11 o'clock. That's long enough. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys later this week at sometime. And if I don't, I will see you definitely Saturday at 3 o'clock. I'll be paying attention to. I just hope Overshawn, man. I hope Overshawn didn't tear his knee up. That's really my only thing tonight. I hope this man did not tear his knee up again. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate all you guys coming on. Listen, hit that like button. I didn't tell you all that before. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that heart button. Smash it if you don't mind. If you're on Twitter, go ahead and double tap that screen for me. You should see a blue heart come up if you're on the Big Time Show. Um, Hit that like button. Everybody try to, for me staying up. Let me go ahead and just get that up real quick, y'all. If you don't mind, just hit that button for me real fast. And I appreciate you guys. Sorry for my setup. I ain't feel like setting up like I usually do. I ain't got too much lighting on. I'm not even on my microphone tonight. I ain't feel like doing all that tonight. I didn't really want. I ain't got my smoke on and all that type of stuff. So forgive my presentation. What's up, Chris? Appreciate you. So I didn't even bring you the full production, if you want to say that. I just want to get on here and get it over with. Usually, if you haven't followed me to the point, I just want to give you the future. I've been doing stuff lives. I call it the ride. It's just a byproduct of my show. I usually do my show, somewhere between 7 o'clock on Mondays and then Saturdays at 3 o'clock Central in the afternoon. But I've also added the ride. I call it the ride. It's still with me, but I do it early in the morning as I ride in to work. And of course, I'm not looking for all you guys to join me there. But if you have those notifications turned on for wherever channel that you're watching me from, those live notifications, and if you getting up early in the morning, you getting ready, or you might be riding to work, you can um, obviously tune in and catch me as we just take a ride, no more than about 30 minutes or so, kind of like now. And you can join me like that as well. I didn't want to do that tomorrow morning because a lot of you guys wouldn't have been able to hang with me. You could be able to obviously watch the replay or something like that. But I want you guys to get live tonight. Man, I appreciate you guys hanging with me tonight. I'll see you guys later this week. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging with me. This has been the one and the only, the Big Time Show.